Hi, my name is Matt Harpalani and this is Gage Mercer with ShirtCycle. And today we're going to discuss the clothing care do's and don'ts for your dress shirts. At ShirtCycle, we invest a lot in thread count, and so we can say that our construction is built to last.
Yeah, so let me just cut in for a second. You know, it's funny, there's a menswear brand and we hear them say, oh, our shirts are so cheap that our Wall Street clientele just throws them away instead of getting them dry cleaned. And it's kind of funny. I mean, two things come to mind. One, if you work on Wall Street and your shirts are so cheap, then you probably should just be wearing better shirts to work, because I guarantee your bosses are. And then second, you know, that's just kind of PR that just validates selling cheap shirts, you know. And honestly, you know, our clients, I think they ask, like, what is the quality? We get emails all the time, you know, what are the qualities of the shirt? And we're upfront with that because it's stitch count, it's collar construction, those things really make a difference in, you know, the lifetime of your shirt. And obviously, you know, it's important to have a good shirt rotation, but you want to make sure that you have quality shirts as well, because your dress is a reflection on you. And, you know, it's funny, banking can be like the movie Mean Girls, where, you know, everyone's, you know, judging. And, you know, I remember when I was an intern at Deutsche Bank, I wore Aldo shoes, okay? I thought they were quality, but clearly I was wrong because I was ridiculed. And, you know, it's just a fact, you know, whether you like it or not, you know, your dress is a reflection on you and people are judging you. And so you just got to be mindful of that and just keep in mind, you know, there's no substitution for quality.
And this is the reason why Gage is an entrepreneur now, because he got blackballed from what he wore back when he was interning. So, but I do completely agree with you. It's that age-old saying, either you buy nice or you buy twice. And so if a deal sounds too good to be true, there must be a reason for that. So let's go back to let's go back to clothing care. Now, if you're going to send your shirts to the cleaners, you want to go ahead and send them with little to no starch for 100% cotton shirts and no starch for the non-iron shirts.
So when we talk about 100% cotton, what fabrics are those?
So there's Italian, there's Sea Island, there's Egyptian, there's Pinpoints, there's Pima. Those are just a few. Okay,
so our black label shirts, those are Egyptian 2-ply.
Yep.
So what do you do with starch on that?
Absolutely no starch. Now, starch is essentially a chemical. So if you're going to put a chemical on an organic fabric like cotton, it's going to diminish over time. So for the high-end quality fabrics like the Thomas Masons, you want to go ahead and put no starch on the shirts.
Got it. And then like a synthetic, so I guess a non-iron, that's where you could have a little starch.
Well, you could, but you don't need it because it's already a synthetic. It's already a blend. So it's a non-iron for a reason.
So then who gets starch and why?
Well, if you want to put multiple wears, like a lot of guys say, hey, you know what, I'm going to take it to the cleaners, but the cleaners are so expensive, and I'm not really a sweater. I'll just put a little starch in it so I won't get the tiger stripes between your arms, and I can wear it multiple days. So if you're going to get, like, let's say, for example, a Sea Island cotton shirt, you can get light starch, and in that way, you can get multiple wears out of it.
Got it. So if you're not wearing a sweater like of hair under your shirt like you are, then you're okay. You don't need to do that.
Pretty much, exactly.
Okay, cool. Just making sure I had that clear.
Yeah.
So,
or you can just wear an undershirt.
Or that. All right, so let's move on, I guess, to home cleaning. What about guys that insist on home cleaning?
So I personally would advise against home cleaning. There's a lot of things that can go wrong if you're not perfectly careful. But if you're going to do it, let's do it right, and let me go over it right now. You want to make sure all the buttons are opened up. That includes the placket sleeve, the cuff sleeve, everything. Turn the shirt inside out. Pre-treat any of the sweat stains underneath the collar, underneath the arms, wherever it is. Use wool light, shout, whatever your preference is. Once you do that, make sure all the dark colors are in cold water. Make sure all the light colors are in warm water. Things to avoid. Avoid chlorine-based bleach and hot water. Once that's done, you want to go ahead and air dry the shirts. Put them on regular hangers, not wire hangers, because that will ruin the shirt. Once they're damp enough, you can go ahead and iron them.
So for this shirt, I mean, this is a white base, but would you consider this a light or a dark?
I would consider this a dark color. And the reason why that is because the pink is prominent. And so if you put it in a warmer water, what ends up happening is the pink starts to fade and bleed into the white background.
Got it. Okay, so to circle back, you know, if you have a non-iron, what can you do? A little bit of starch if you must.
Non-iron, you could put a little bit of starch. You don't really need it because it's already a synthetic.
100% cotton, no starch.
Ideally, if it's a Thomas Mason, no starch, regardless of how many times you want to wear it. And if it's a Sea Island, you can put a little starch on it.
And then as far as lifetime, I mean, this shirt is 3 years old. Obviously, you know, we have a large rotation of shirts, given that we work here, but I mean, client expectation should be that it does last for a while, and obviously that's dependent on how often you wear it.
Exactly. So if there's no real right answer for that, but if you want me to just kind of guess,
Yep.
I would say at least the shirt should last about a year.
At least, right?
Exactly.
Cool. All right. Well, again, when you talked about wiring, what about when you're just not laundering it, but it's in your closet? Is there anything you can do there?
No, well, if they're dry, you can put them on wire hangers. That's not a problem.
Okay.
The cleaners usually put them on wire hangers. That's
what I was
perfectly
curious.
fine. Exactly.
Got it. All right. Well, guys, thanks for listening again. Home care tips, those things are key. Obviously, you can destroy a shirt pretty quickly. But, for me, I just did wash and fold and not really dry clean. What do you do?
That's perfectly fine as well.
Yeah. What's the difference between dry clean and wash and fold? Because I actually have no idea.
Again, dry cleaning essentially is a chemical on the shirts.
Yep.
You want to try to avoid that. Same thing with the starch. Wash and fold, they'll just throw it in the wash if it's light or a dark color, and then they'll just go ahead and fold it up. They will just kind of run an iron through it.
But they know what they're doing.
Exactly.
So they're not going to destroy your shirt as likely as you would be doing at home.
Exactly.
Got it. Okay. Well, again, thanks for listening, guys. I know this is a question that comes up a lot, and obviously, what we tell clients, we want your ShirtCycle shirts to last a long time because we build them to last a long time, and obviously, home care is a big part of that.
Exactly.
Cool. Thanks, guys.
Thank you.